Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Every last one. The vinyl collection bragathon, where we discuss post-punk, new wave, and electronic music by way of my vinyl record collection. Today's focus record is Money by the Flying Lizards, and that is because we are going to talk about money, money, money. I was looking for a topic to do on today's video and noticed that others that post similar content have a video out where they show their most valuable records that they own. And I thought that might be a pretty good idea for a video. Certainly more interesting than going through my endless Lionel Richie gatefold LPs. So before we get into it, just want to point out that this isn't necessarily ranked. I put them in order of interest, and I've only got one record from each artist selected. That way we don't have multiple entries by The Cure or Nine Inch Nails on this list. First up, it's going to be New Order with Power, Corruption, and Lies. And you're like, what? What is so significant about this? Well, this is a 2017 pressing. I picked this up in Manchester, UK in 2017 when attending the Manchester Art Gallery as part of the Manchester International Festival. There was an exhibit on where they had tons of New Order stuff, including the artwork that graces the cover here, which is Basket of Roses by Henry Fantine Latour. And this has a super slick sleeve that it comes in. Not sure if you can see that there. The exhibit was called True Faith. Picked this up for £35 UK. Now, it's still sealed. The record itself is silver. Just never got around to listening to it since I've already got so many copies of Power, Corruption, and Lies. And then came across a listing on Discogs and noticed that this is going for an arm and a leg and then some. So, needless to say, I'm gonna keep this one sealed. I think it's quite slick with the sleeve that it comes with. Super cool collectible. I do have a Joy Division companion record, but we'll save that for another video. If this one does well, who knows? Limited edition of 3000 on silver vinyl. Nice little keepsake to take home with me. Next up is gonna be Depeche Mode with Violator, the 12-inch singles. So this one is open. I cracked this one. Had to, for a couple of reasons. This is the most sought after 12-inch single box set that has been put out for Depeche Mode. They've gone through pretty much every album now, save for Memento Mori. I don't know if they're gonna do that one, since all of the 12 inches from that set were all in these little white slip cases. Boring, no cover art. But what's really cool about this is not only the fact that it's from Violator, but it should have a few different unique souvenirs in the box. Okay, so we got these Depeche Mode limited edition stickers, 4 of them. Great. But yeah, here we go. Iconic Enjoy the Silence poster. The new 12-inch single. All of the 12 inches have been faithfully reproduced. I have all of the originals, probably got multiple pressings of some of these. So 2 for every single one of these, as was the case with Depeche Mode. They're all BBV, boring black vinyl, except for one, which we'll get to in a moment. There's Enjoy the Silence. There's Canary Yellow, Enjoy the Silence. Then there's the special version of Enjoy the Silence. This is my original pressing of it right here, actually. And this is significant because this is the Quad the Final Mix, which is the behemoth of a 15-minute version of Enjoy the Silence, or it breaks down and there's an orchestra playing in the middle and then keeps going on the first side. And then, I already gave it away, you've got an etching on the B side. So super cool. And fact about this box set was that upon release, many of these did not have the special edition Enjoy the Silence LP in the box, me included. So even though I could see it when I returned mine that was missing it and got a fresh copy from my dealer, I made sure to open it and make sure that everything was good inside of the package after everyone's complaints. I probably should be mentioning as well that I picked this one up at Sonic Boom, which is a record store in Toronto. There's Policy of Truth. Since I mentioned that the Manchester International Festival, Manchester Art Gallery was where I got the new order. And here we go. This is the gatefold of Policy of Truth. Oh man, I love the artwork on this one. Anton Corbijn at his finest. Let's go for the back first. Looks like the LP, but then, wait for it, like, perfect. It's got all of the small little pictures there that align with the CD, the tape, all the different versions of Policy of Truth. Mega. World in My Eyes. And then, that's why I wanted to check inside the package. This was the special edition of World in My Eyes, where you could violate it by trimming and cutting the record out. So, this is sealed. And then we've got a Mute Records promotional copy only. This was exclusive to the box, which has the Mayhem Mode version of World in My Eyes and Happiest Girl, the Pulsating Orbital mix. Everyone has those mixes that's worth their salt with Depeche Mode, but very cool to still get a nice little keepsake in the box nonetheless. Almost forgot, got a little ticket here to download the rose on the front. Next record is The Cure, Blood Flowers. This is the original pressing from 2000. And it's got a nice little lyric sheet with some additional artwork, far better than the cover in the actual LP. And then both of the records here, really nice center labels, particularly this one. Wish that was the cover. This was repressed for Record Store Day in 2020. I got my copy, not when it came out, but from a local record store, Rotate This. Sold used for, I would say, a reasonable fare for how much it goes for nowadays online, but I got it in 2015 in the winter. I thought, you know what? I have pretty much every single Cure LP. In fact, at that point, I had everything but Blood Flowers, so took the plunge and glad I did, because then the picture disc came out for Record Store Day. I hate picture discs. Glad I have the original. It still commands a whopping value on Discogs, so happy to have this in my collection. Next is going to be Skinny Puppy with Last Rites. I did play this one when I got it, purchased this one pretty sure in 2009 when this was repressed. It's got a nice matte cover with the embossed Skinny Puppy and Last Rites along the bottom. Really nice Skinny Puppy embossed logo on the back. This is the influential Canadian band's probably last great record before they took a big break after Dwayne Goddell left this mortal coil. It's a gatefold and it's got the CD. Got some really cool artwork there on the right side. One LP there, second LP there. I really got to swap these out for some anti-statics. Clearly I was not paying attention. So not my favorite Skinny Puppy record, but I would say their peak was Too Dark Park. Definitely carried on in a similar vein, had some really awesome processing and really crazy sound design on this one. It's missing the track Left Handshake, which was taken off the record at the last minute, but is still a really great record. Actually see it's embossed, it's got all the tracks here. So really dig River's End, which is a remix from the track that was on an album previously that they worked on with Al Jorgensen. Killing Game, Inquisition's awesome. Always liked Lust Chance, it's such a cool patchwork of samples. And Download, which would point ahead to Kevin Key's side project that would come out of the ashes of the initial breakup of Skinny Puppy. Keeping the industrial theme going for the next one with KMFDM and their record Extort. This is the original pressing. This has never been repressed, hence why it commands a pretty penny. Not a great album in my opinion. Their peak I think was Nile, and then after that they started getting frustrated with how commercial they were getting. Well, commercial I guess was just on account of the fact that their song Juke Joint Jezebel got featured in an episode of Beverly Hills 90210. But it still has a lot of really cool guests on this record. I do like the track Son of a Gun. I do kind of dig Dogma, Rules, the first track Power. It's on boring black vinyl, wax tracks, and if I recall correctly, I picked this one up at Tiny Record Store in 2016. Keeping the 1996 theme going, this is Sneakerpimps and their album Becoming X. So this was on the tail end of trip hop. Everybody and their dog was starting a trip hop band. And despite the trip hop sound on the lead single, Six Underground, there's a lot of different moods on this record. Definitely still in the trip hop vein, Low Place Like Home. Then you got Spin Spin Sugar, which had an awesome, faster paced remix. But the last song, How Do, love that track, really cool, super dreamy. Blowing cat hairs off your records. So this is super mint. So I had someone contact me over Discogs on this one. I ended up picking it up at a shop called Good Music in Toronto, now defunct. And somebody at some point, because I don't know when, because I didn't notice the message for years, messaged me saying, please, would you consider selling your Sneakerpimps first pressing? Still to this day is not being repressed and commands a small fortune, but really happy to have this in my collection. Solid record. Next is going to be Massive Attack and their 2010 record Heligoland. This is the original press from 2010. I got this at a now defunct record shop called Criminal Records in Toronto. Still got the hype sticker and it's still sealed. Didn't really dig this record when it came out, and although a few of the tracks, especially in the back end, which is a lot better than the front half, grew on me, just never cracked it. And then here we were years later. It hadn't received a repressing until finally in 2018 they repressed it exactly the same. I mean, I wish I could open this for you guys because it's a triple gatefold on double LP solid 180 vinyl. You can almost see in the light here the sparkle, super slick. And it's on the back too. It's got the emboss with the sparkle. And one of the cool things that came out of these sessions was a LP which was Massive Attack versus Burial, where he remixed Paradise Circus and another track that did not end up on this record. I think it was called Four Walls. Featured the same attention to detail with the sparkly artwork. And I had an opportunity to pick up that remix EP years ago. I'm talking like 10, 12 years ago. And then just decided not to. I just couldn't justify the price. And now it's ballooned to like 8 times the rate on Discogs. Like, forget it. Limited edition, was only available from the band's website. But surprisingly, both the 2010 and the 2018 repress of Heligoland have held these astronomical asking prices. People really want these. I like Atlas Air, the last track, a lot. Paradise Circus is the standout, which everyone knows from this record. Didn't really dig the first half of this record too much. This is their last release that they've put out, save for an EP. Really hope Massive Attack aren't done and they keep releasing albums, especially if the artwork is going to be as beautiful as on this release. Switching to a 7-inch, we have Boards of Canada and their 7-inch single, Aquarius, backed with the track Chinook. I think it was limited to 200. Let me know down in the comments if I'm totally off base. But it includes the original taped on handmade Boards of Canada. You can see how it's been yellowing over the years. This is from 1998, prior to the Music Has the Right to Children album. And then it's got the Braille on the back here. Strangely, that tape is yellowing and this one is not. Got this at a shop called Good Music in Toronto, now defunct. Had to jump at it and it's ballooned in price. Here we have it with these super retro Boards of Canada labels. Comes with this really cool little leaflet here. Your favorite color of the good friend, the color of the fire, either yellow or white, turquoise, hexagon sun. Boards of Canada, Scam PO Box 76, Manchester, M457XW UK. So yeah, this was prior to the Warp signing. This was on Scam. Keeping the Warp Records IDM theme going for the next release, and this is going to be Polygon Window and the album Surfing on Sine Waves. Remember seeing this one while on vacation in Barcelona, Spain in a shop window called Naima Records. Don't even know if the shop's open anymore, but it was just there, came in, just had to have it. Wasn't cheap, but limited edition clear vinyl. 000112, I like that number, pretty good. This one is a gatefold. Got the subway tunnel there from the Quoth single. So for those who don't know, I should probably tell you, this is Richard D. James, aka the Aphex Twin, under one of his pseudonyms. Here we go. Polygon Window, clear vinyl. It's the first LP. Features tracks like, the first one, Polygon Window, and it's got Quoth on it, a few other tracks. Very similar to the stuff that he was doing back in 1993. There we go. And was delighted to discover that this came with a little Warp Records press release. Polygon Window, Surfing on Sine Waves. Release date, 11th January. It's on Warp Records letterhead, Brown Street, Sheffield. Got a Warp Records DJ reaction form, in case I wanted to react and tell Warp what I think of this 32-year-old release. Warp Records dance chart return. Man, treasure trove. And then Warp Party, Friday, 8th January 1993 at the Sheffield Lead Mill from 9:30 p.m. to 4 a.m. Featuring Polygon Window performing live, aka the Aphex Twin, Dice Man, Richard James, promoting his new album, Surfing on Sine Waves. Release date, 11th January 93. DJs in 2 rooms, John Kelly, DIY DJs, Diggs and Whoosh, Dino, Libido Occasions, Love Bomb Various, Desi Various, Pat Berry, Kangaroo Palais Various. Tickets £6 or £7 from Lead Mill, Warp City Hall. For further info, telephone, This party has a late license till 4 a.m. Wow. Again, treasure trove. Last record for today. This is 9 Inch Nails with The Fragile. This is 9 Inch Nails' this would have been his 3rd official album, if you don't want to count the Broken EP, which I kind of rate as an album. This is the original 1999 pressing of The Fragile. It is still sealed. It's got the hype sticker right there. It has been repressed, I believe, in 2017. And there's the Fragile Diversions. Trent was talking since 2010 about bringing out a 5.1 mix of The Fragile. But I ended up coming across this at Sonic Boom in Toronto, Canada. It was sealed, wasn't cheap, but man, it's like we're talking about a 25-year-old record, still sealed, and Halo 14 triple LP. It comes with 2 bonus tracks, which is 10 Miles High and The New Flesh, as well as several tracks which are extended, have different endings. They basically re-recorded or recut the endings and the way that these tracks would flow for the final release. So it has a different feel to it overall. I remember growing up, when this record came out, I was deeply disappointed with it after the miracle that was The Downward Spiral. But in retrospect, Trent himself even evaluated and realized what he probably should have done is release 2 simultaneous records, a la Kid A and Amnesiac, just far more digestible than this behemoth that, again, one of the challenges with double LPs is you end up with tracks that some people would argue could have just been relegated to B-sides or left on the cutting room floor. But I will say that as a mood piece, this record does work, even though there's tracks like The Great Below or I'm Looking Forward to Joining You Finally that I don't really care for that much. Some of the instrumentals on here are just tremendous. Amazing, amazing, just cinematic quality that would point ahead to his film score work that he did with Atticus Ross. So very cool record, never gonna open it. In my lifetime at least. What do you guys think about sealed records? Do you think it's kind of bogus? Because like, I mean, I don't think someone resealed this, especially with the hype sticker. That would be too hard to do. But there's something to be said about the fact that we don't know what's in there. And I guess in a way that's kind of like a nice gamble for future generations. It's a time capsule, right? Are they gonna get this record in its original mastering to enjoy for future generations? Or are they gonna get a warped or cracked, or maybe there's a Mariah Carey LP in here, who knows? So that's gonna do it for today. That's 10 records that are valuable that are in my record collection. You guys wanna see a follow-up video? Let me know down in the comments. Maybe you guys wanna see a 9 Inch Nails video where I go through some of their stuff, or something on Aphex Twin. Happy to do additional content. Give me ideas, anything that keeps me from just doing a random record rummage and just picking things at random. Thanks for watching. If you enjoy this content, please like. If you haven't already, please subscribe. I got more videos coming on several of the artists that were included in today's video. Appreciate you guys. Have yourselves a good one, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.